test.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Yes, it's working.
You're positive it's working?
I'm positive it's working. It's showing me it's recording right now.
All right. Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with the box opening for the Kaladesh Prerelease kit. This is the deck I will be running in the tournament for the Kaladesh Prerelease. So it just comes in a small little box, nothing too special to it. I guess you can build your own Thopter. Is that in here actually, Zach?
Yeah, it is. It's
so anyway, we'll talk about that when we get to it, but let's just open this up. Man, I wish I had fingernails. I got it. We'll just use my... There we go. Don't even have to use my teeth. Look at that. All right, so... kind of like how these new ones, they give you a little box to carry around your stuff. I'm an old school Magic player where they used to just throw 6 packs at us and call it good with a promo card. So these little things are kind of cool. And it just kind of...
There's a little red
Oh, it says push! Look at that! It's even for the challenge people like myself. Actually push and... Uh-oh. Oh! It's caught on something. Alright. So dice, nice so clear dice. I like the dice well not clear, but I mean like it's easy to read. I kind of get miffed when the Gruul dice were terrible. You couldn't even see the numbers on them. So Kaladesh dice, I don't know if they come in other colors. The packaging on this is pretty sweet. Blue packs. Some nice teal blue cards. So anyway, it comes in with this little Thopter thing I guess you can assemble. You can make different types of Thopters. What you do, don't care about it. In a box. So get a little invitation and a divider. And right off the bat, let's see what our promo is going to be. The Girapur Ori. At the beginning of each player's turn, each player may play an additional land on each of your turns. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, to draw cards. Crappy promo, won't be playable. In my opinion, probably won't make the cut. Just because I can't stand these type of cards that give your opponent the first advantage. Unless you're like a heavy ramp deck that's trying to get like something like Emrakul, and those cards don't exist in Kaladesh. Kaladesh does seem to be a fast format. It seems to be both a fast and a go wide type format. That's the two things you have to overcome. What I mean by that is like multiple threats, little threats, flyers and whatnot. Or the red does like very aggressive. So a card like Girapur Ori is just plain garbage for sealed. I might have some commander value down the road, but probably not for quite a while. So no masterwork. Or masterpiece. I don't think you can get a masterpiece foil though. That'd be kind of a stamped one. That'd be kind of weird. First pack we have, and I'll try to go down the lines for this. We have a Herald of the Fair. Enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1 on the turn. We've seen these cards before. Very aggressive 3/2. 100% will make the cut if I'm in white. The High Tide Hermit, which is crab. I love crabs. It's a 4/4 defender. When High Tide Hermit enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy counters. I think energy is going to be very pivotal to a lot of these strategies. And you can pay 2 and you can attack as though it didn't have defenders. So this card's actually quite weak except for the ability to... It's a 4/4 for 4. It's pretty vanilla in that aspect, and as a downside, you have to pay for stuff. But it does add that energy. So if you have some sort of energy strategy, this is at least a 4/4 blocker to help stabilize and then use the energy. We have a Subtle Strike. Choose one or both. Our creature's -1/1, or put a +1 on the counter on turn. So it's just strict upgrade to. I believe there's another card that did very similar to this in Twine. No, I can't remember what's set. Zealous Persecution kind of does what this does, but it was out of recent set, I believe. I can't remember. But there's been cards like this, and they've been very powerful. These are great comp tricks. Say like a 3/2 is blocking a 3/3, for example. You can put a +1 counter on it, and then give the other one a -1/1. Your guy survives, kills it, and has the difference between this one is it puts a permanent +1 counter. So really like this card. I think this card should have existed during Heroic and Theros. So I'll try to go faster with this too. I think I'm probably talking too much about the cards. Attune with Aether. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it and put it into your hand. Ew, not in the hand. And then shelf your library, you get 2 energy. Well, it's ramp, 2 energy and a land in hand. I think this card might see play in a lot of energy type strategies. We have the Commencement of Festivals, which prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to player this turn. So we've had this card. It's just a reprint of Defend the Hearth, I believe. So it doesn't do it to creatures, so it's really cool if you're live, especially at green. You usually have the bigger creatures that survive anyway. You prevent all the damage that's done to you and usually be able to kill a creature and yours survives. Impeccable Timing, love this card in Limited. Oh my god, we have a good green already starting. Deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature, 2 mana, instant speed. This is clutch. This is like first pickable in Limited. For Fireforger's Puzzle Knot, when Fireforger's Puzzle enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to our creature player, and then 2 in a red, you can sacrifice it to do it again. I actually like this card a lot. This is something that I think Shadows of Innistrad would have wanted for Delirium, but it is an artifact. There's a lot of things to deal with artifacts in the format. If I'm going into red, I think this is going to be really good. Plus, there's a lot of 1 toughness creatures, just like this one that's coming right here. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just a 2/1. But cards like this are actually pretty good. You can kill 2 1/1s for 1 card. Chandra's Power Helix. Speaking of another card, so far it's trying to push me into these 2 colors. Deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creature or players. What I like about this card is you can actually put 2 damage to a creature. You don't have to divide it. It's just strictly better. Some other cards that have existed that are like this. The Harsh Scrutiny. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a creature card from it. That player discards it. So it's just an upgrade to Despise. Or not Despise, Ostracize, I believe is the card. So you get a Scry and you get a creature out of it. Alright, so the Quicksmith Genius. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Sweet. Another 3/2 for just 3. I mean, these are all really, really good cards. Really aggressive. Disappearing Act. Additional cost, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand and counter a spell. So it's a counter spell with a downside. You can return a card that has the enter the battlefield effect, but it's usually these typically aren't playable. The double blue makes it hard to really splash in a deck. And then we have the Depala Pilot Exemplar. Okay, so now it's really pushing us into red-white. As other dwarfs get +1/+1. Is this a dwarf? It's a human. Lousy. These are both humans. And each vehicle gets +1/+1. And whenever Exemplar becomes tapped, you may pay X if you do reveal the top card of your library and put all dwarf in vehicles. So you want to try to find more dwarf in vehicles, but a 3/3 for 3 is just fine by itself. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. That's probably the best common foil out of the set to get. Prophetic Prism. Sees Pauper play. Sees, it also sees Modern play. So beautiful card. And for all those people like speculating, it looks almost similar to the Mirari. And so is Mirari coming back? Dun dun dun. All right. This will also help us splash. We get a Servo and a land token. I'll try to go quicker than this. I know some of my charm, though, is that I ramble. So I'll try to ramble and make this quick. That is why I'm talking so quickly. Fragmentize. You start your artifact enchantment with power 4 or less. I think this is fine in an artifact-based set. It might not make the cut, but it'll definitely be sideboard. We have the Weldfast Wingsmith. Whenever an artifact is battlefield under your control, gains flying. It's a 3/3. It's fine. It's fine. It's a good 23rd card. Demolish. Not a fan of Demolish Unlimited. It's been printed before. When Sage of Shalia's claim enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy counters. It's aggressive 2/1 with 3 energy. Beautiful card, actually. This is really good in energy strategies. It's basically almost on the same power level as Burning to Emissary if you can actually use the energy immediately for something else. But you're going to get advantage out of the 3 energy immediately. The Live Fast. You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life and get 2 energy. Awesome card. It's just read the bones type strategy and get energy. Really good card. We have the Adventurer's Goggle. Equipped creature gets +1/+2, and when it enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach. When a creature does, you may attach it. I kind of like these type of abilities. It's a 1 mana, 2 equip, but anything you cast gets +1/+2. Almost feels like a Rancor, but Rancor is just so much better because its ability to 2/2/0 trample, of course, is better than +1/+2. But this is absolutely playable. Absolutely. We have Larger Than Life, which is target creatures +4/+1 trample, so it's just an upgrade to the. I guess it's sorcery speed, though, and the other one was instant. So, yeah, this is actually worse. I would say even the trample makes it a little bit worse than... It's kind of thinking about Titanic Growth. But it's definitely playable in a red, especially like red-green or white-green aggro. Revoke Privileges. Enchanted creature can attack, or block, or cruise. So it's just a rest. So a rest is fine. We have the Glassblower's Puzzle Knot. When there's battlefield, scry 2 and get 2 energy. And when you sacrifice it, scry 2 and get 2 energy. So it's a card that can add 4 energy. It could definitely see play in the right deck. We have Rush of Vitality. It gets +1/+0 on lifelink and indestructible. I love these combat tricks. Instant speed. Really good card. Blossoming Defense. Target creature control gets +2/+2 against Hexproof. A lot of people have talked about this card is going to break Infect even worse than it's already busted. It's definitely a good combat trick as well. The Minister of Inquiries. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, and you can pay a energy to put the top 3 cards of the target player's library into the graveyard. This is incredibly good if you can get enough of these. This is a very good mill card. 3 cards, and you can do that twice. That's 6. Any other energy will allow you to get even more. That's not hard at all to do. I really like this card. We have the Servo Exhibition, which is insanely good. I'm being pushed into red-white like no other. I mean, we could go... Blue and black are starting to have some good colors here. Oh, God. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. 2/1/1 Servo to artifact tokens. This is basically very similar to Raising Alarms, not instant speed, of course. It's more like the one out of Dark Ascension, the Gather the Townsfolk. So 2/1/1 artifact Servo tokens. A lot of things actually deal with artifacts, and that just goes on the ground. Zach's going to go fetch it. He doesn't like it on the Zach went rushing and picked it up. Another one. What is with this? The 2 garbage rares, the promo and the regular. But anyway, I'm liking our pulls so far. Another Fragmentize, definitely a good sideboard, and the 2 is Swamp. I love the lands out of this set too. They are beautiful. Too bad they didn't do full arts.
These are gorgeous.
Oh, apparently the servo tokens are gorgeous too. But too bad they didn't do full arts for this. I've been calling that they should put like extremely rare foil full arts in every set, just as, I know, like 1 per case. I think that'd be pretty cool. Give the collectors something stupid to collect, and full arts would be beautiful. Or one per box, I guess, is okay too. Just so, and I don't know if they could foil them at that point, but you're right. I think that instead of just another Fragmentize, man, no enchantments will be safe against our deck. We have a Wingfast, or a Weldfast Wingsmith. Whenever an artifact enters battle, we've seen that. Another Demolish, we've seen that. We have the Wild Wanderer. Whenever it's a battlefield, you can search for a basic land and put on the battlefield tap. So it's Borderland Ranger, but at 4 mana. Not a bad card whatsoever. It's also an Elf Druid. It's probably going to end up going in some of my Commander decks just because the Elf is very relevant type of card. And yeah, this will probably go in Noth because it ramps me into Noth. Oh, no, it doesn't. It gives you some mana after you use Noth. Anyway, another story for another day. When Lawless Broker dies, put a +1/+1 counter onto our creature control. 3/2, 3 mana with an upside. Awesome card. Impeccable Timing, another one. We are completely being pushed. It's going to be hard to get me out of red-white now. Defender Reach, 0/4 for 2. That can slow down red-white decks. It's not a bad card. We have another 2/1 Vidalkin. We have Trample. When enters battlefield, it get 2 energy counters. And then whenever it attacks, you can remove 2 energy counters and gets +2 +2. Unfortunately, it does not get Trample. But attacking in for a 6 at least once and then having a 4/4 back after that is pretty good. We get our first crew card. This is one of the better crew cards because it has Menace. It does have Crew Force, so it's a little bit harder to crew. And it is a 5 mana. But I think an 8/6 is pretty decent. It upgrades those weaker cards later on. And it does so far work with some of what we've got going. So I'm not quite sure it will make the cut, but it will definitely be here. All right, here's probably my favorite limited card. It's called Filigree Familiar. It's also going to see play in Standard. In Eldritch Evolution. I'm very excited about brewing with this card because it does everything you want it to do in Standard. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, and when it dies, you draw a card. So Eldritch Evolution now has another target that can get Rally Smasher. So now we have both the Matter Shaper and Filigree Familiar. Colorless mana. It's easy to put in these type of decks. Absolutely love the card. I think this is very underrated. It's definitely good enough even in this deck. I would play it. So now we have the Fairgrounds Warden. Fairgrounds Warden enters the battlefield, exile target creature, opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield, Fiend Hunter, redone. We are 100% in white. I don't know about red yet, but because we've had very, very few red cards to work with. And now we have a Mythic. We'll get to that in a second. Target creature you control can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. Very, very good green card. But we have the Angel of Invention. Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink, 5 mana. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Right there. Zach, where'd you go? You're supposed to be making sure this gets on camera. It's got Fabricate too, so I can either make more servo tokens or make this guy big. This is pretty much a busted limited bomb. I'm too far out. See? That's what I need you to be here for.
Go right there.
Busted limited bomb. We are definitely in white. I want to be in red just because I want to justify playing my little dwarf. But if not, we can have... Green is looking really good at this point too. Black is looking okay. All right, so far so good as far as for limited. Oh, I get an error pack that's got busted up cards. Let everyone know if you've got busted up cards. Completely dinged on the things there. So Revolutionary Rebuff, counter target non-artifact spell unless it's control place 2. This card's amazing. This is like a fixed mana leak. It doesn't hit artifacts. I like these situational things. Oh, this card is like chewed on. Jeez, someone got to my pack before us. Do we have beavers in the packaging?
Crazy.
Yeah, these are all kind of busted up. All right, we have the Spireside Infiltrator. Whenever Spell Infiltrator becomes tapped, deals 1 damage to each opponent. I like this card a lot because it's just this tap ability. There's ways to exploit this. I think this is like fixed Inspire, as Inspire was hard to get some advantage right off the bat with it. This just immediately when it becomes tapped. It's a 3/2 with an upside. You can crew things later on. Very, very good card. It's like not a dwarf too. Do they even put any dwarfs in this set? Tasseled Dromedary. I hope I'm saying that right. 0/4 for 1. We've seen this card before. Menace, Fabricate 1. Awesome card for black. Either a 4/2 Menace or a 3/1 with another 1/1. We have a 6/6 cat for 6/6 Worm. Cow Prowler. It's not a cat. I don't know how I got cat out of that. For 6 mana. We have the Tidy Conclusions, which destroys target creature. You gain 1 life for each artifact you control. Sure. It's 5 mana instant speed removal. That's fine. It's fine and limited. Another Adventurous Goggles. Another Larger Than Life. Another Revoke Privileges. That actually does well. We have another Puzzle Knot. Iron League Steed. Haste. Fabricate 1. Either a 3/3 haster or a 2/2 and a 1/1. Absolutely playable in this type of strategy. We have the Foregrounds Warden again. It's a dwarf. It's a dwarf. When enters the battlefield, exile target creature. Oh yeah, this is our third one. These are dwarfs. So we're actually, or this is our second one with the Fairgrounds Warden, right? Yeah. So we have 2 of the removal spells and 2 of these. Yeah, this is looking. I'm gonna have a very powerful deck. If I don't win this, I'm gonna be probably very upset because I think this is one of the better limited ones besides these garbage rares that I've opened. Well, that's the prison's cool, but besides these 2 garbage rares I've opened, I think that this is really good. Here, we actually do want this. It is a 4-mana sorcery, but this is what the deck wants to really solidify it as a +2/+0 intended turn when we have a lot of ways to spread our 1/1s. And it gives all vehicles also. Vehicles you control become artifact creatures until turn, so you don't have to crew them. And then you get +2/+0. Then we have the Master Tinkerer. We have Servo and Thopter creatures you control get +1/+1/+1. We already have some servos, and we can create one. So another boss rare in color. This is, again, one of the best limited pulls I've had in a very, very, very long time. The white is just insane. So we have Thriving Grubs, the 2/1 with adds energy. So far, I really haven't had much to do with energy in these 2 colors. We've had a few energy out of black and blue. Do I have anything out of these other ones? I don't think I have yet. So it gets +2. It's 2/1, enters battlefield with energy, and you may pay 2 to put a +1 counter on it. So it's a 3/2 indefinitely, and can then it can get bigger if I get more energy counters. Speaking of energy counters, we have this enter battlefield, you get 2 energy, and you may pay an energy to if you do another target attacking creature gains flying. This is actually pretty sweet. I like the 1/2 evasion in a deck like this just because getting that in for that last bit of evasion damage is quite good. It gives you the 2 energy, so we've got this little combo going. And if we get any more energy, that's going to be good. We have a 2/3 prowess card, good in blue. And we have a destroy target artifact 1 mana. I actually do like this card. It's just 3 mana to do it, so that's actually quite powerful in a deck in a set with so many vehicles. 100% will probably see inclusion in this. 3/4 vanilla creature gains indestructible. 1/1 that can gain indestructible. We have an insect that can gain lifelink until end of turn. 3 mana for 2/3 lifelink. Really good in black. I don't think it will be played if we're not in black. Trample Fabricate 1, solid card, either a 4/4 for 4 or a trample with or a 4/4 trampler for 4 or a servo creature token. Really, really good card. Green, you'll probably want this to be a 4/4 more than likely. We have the Workshop Assistant. When it dies, you turn another target artifact card from your grave to your hand. This is another good little Eldritch Evolution target. This is another. This existed as a 2-drop. What was it called? Scrap something. There was another one too. There's a mirror that did it. There's a scrap something that did this, and also a mirror. So in Commander, I'm definitely going to use this in all my Commander decks that want to get back an artifact to create loops and nonsense. Yay, we get our dwarf, the Fabricate Dwarf. This is exactly what we wanted to get. I don't think there's anything that's going to get me away from white-black. If there is anything that will get me away from, or excuse me, green. Now I've named every color, red, white. But if there's anything that's going to have me splash the color, it's going to be this Unlicensed Disintegration. Unlicensed Disintegration is one of the best uncommons in the set. 3 damage, destroy target creature you don't control. If you control an artifact, it deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. Insanely good card. I could see this actually seeing play in Delver over. No, probably not, because you're not going to be running artifacts that often. But Jund might want it with its new artifact little flavor. I'm not sure. All right, so we have when constant surveillance enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy, pay 2, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn by a sorcerer choice. It doesn't seem to be in an aggro deck you'd want it, but it's definitely an option. Whenever an artifact or artificer enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 to get 2 more energy. And then this also gives you to pay 6 energy, sacrifice it, draw 3 cards. Not bad at all. We get the black, white, or geez, I'm terrible with colors. Green, black, fast land, and some more beautiful servo tokens. Is that all servo tokens on 4 for 4? 4 for 4 servo tokens. Is there any other tokens that actually... What was the other token?
It was just a tip card.
Oh, I got a tip card. So another Ruinous Gremlin. I think this is underrated. We have another one that makes energy, which is fine. It's playable. Enters battlefield, things gain flying. We have enters battlefield, you get an energy counter, pay an energy counter, and something gains haste. So it's either the 3/3 haster or the ability to give other things haste later on. I think that it's acceptable. Enters battlefield, you get 3 energy counter for the 2/1. We've seen that before. We have a fortuitous find, which returns an artifact or a creature or both. Not bad. We have another little equipment. Equip gets +2/+0, so 2/2/2. Not bad equipment. Probably won't see. Like, the only reason I'd want to run these is maybe my evasive flyers, and if I have to, I will. Hunt the Weak gets a reprint. We have a Sky Sift, which is a Flying Crew 1. Sure, it just upgrades my 1/1 into a 2/3. I'm not sure how I feel about it. A Windrake. Harness Lightning. Yay, more removal. We are 100% into white, black, or white,
Red.
red is the color. Red, red, red. I don't think there's any if, buts, ors, ands. These are the 2 we're going to go. We have Fabricate Module. Whenever you get 1 or more energy, put a +1 as a counter on target creature you control. That's actually not too bad with some of the energy cards we've got going. I just don't know if we're going to quite get there with the energy strategy. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 if you do put a +1 as a counter on that creature. Wow, that's a powerful enchantment in limited. That's an insanely good enchantment in limited. And then 6, you can sacrifice it to put a +1 counter on each creature you control. Huh. Talking about a splashable card. I might, in all honesty though, green actually doesn't seem that far off of red. The red is usually what I like to pair white with because it has this more premium removal. The other route that I could go is definitely go into green and have more of those like 2/1 beaters that add energy. And this is a very, very powerful card. It just, your 2 drops now become basically 3 drops. Power. The 1/1 puts it on power level par with the next one. We do get another vehicle. This vehicle is actually not bad. It helps us like with with Prophetic Prison in this, there might be a way that we can actually. I really like this card because at first it adds mana to your mana color, and then you can actually crew it for 3. A 5/5 crew card is not that terrible. Plus, we still have a little crew sub ability with our Dwarf Exemplar, and another tip card actually. So there goes my servo token run. So anyway, that's basically it. I think the deck just kind of built itself. I'll have a full list ready for you and let you know how I go in the upcoming videos later on. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.